we didn't have Young Life here, I think that I just would have lost a lot of my connection with God. And I think I would also know less people, like less secure adults, because I don't want to tell my parents everything, but I do like having like adults to trust. It's really important. I think I would have just been, lonelier. I'm very loving, and I like to bring the confidence. I like to bring the fun and the energy to everything I do, because my goal, I think, is to impact people. I want to help them, and I want to make a difference. My story starts, once I remember, I was like 4 years old, and I was going to church with my parents and my brother. And my brother, he was pretty young at the time too. I think he was 6, and he was kind of talking about, he just got that full understanding of religion and what it means to be Christian. So I was asking my parents, like, am I Christian? Can I be Christian? And I think that was the moment of realization. My mom was like, yeah, totally. Like, and yeah, on the way to church, like, we prayed, and I, the ABCs, admit, believe, confess, and I'd say I became a Christian then. My favorite childhood memory was when my parents went on a cruise to Alaska. My aunt flew up from Colorado, and she took me and my siblings to the Cheesecake Factory, and she took us to mini golf. Then my parents came back and they brought me stuff, so that was really cool. Growing up, I remember my dad working a lot, but I think a lot of people have some negative feelings associated with their parents always off at work. But while my dad was gone, I never felt that he was absent. I've always felt really close to both of my parents. And then I've always been super close to my sister because we shared a room for 10 years. She drove me insane, but that's okay. Coming up around my faith so close and so young, I think I always had a very secure knowing of who I was. And I forget that sometimes not everybody has that. Even a year ago, I was hanging out with my friend, and we were at Kris Kringle in town, and there are all these decorations, and a lot of them are religious. And there was one of the tomb with the rock rolled away, and then one of my friends was like, what is that? And it took me a second, I forgot. I was like, oh, not everybody was raised in a religious household. And it kind of shocked me. And I feel like now I'm a little bit more understanding of it, having a mix of friends. Yeah, just remembering that everybody's different. But I know that if I keep myself open, I know that if my friends need me, they'll come talk to me, especially if it's about God. I think today kids just need an understanding of who they are, because that's what, especially in high school, that's what everybody is searching for. Who am I? What is my purpose? And especially, am I loved? Young Life can answer all of those questions. I have a friend whose parents have struggled with addiction quite a lot, and that's carried down to him. It's really sad to see, because I think him especially, he could use that teacher or that Young Life leader or that older sibling to kind of have more reinforcement in your life. But being the first generation where you kind of have unrestricted media access is definitely just damaging in general. Right when Instagram came out, there's a lot of lowered self-confidence because there's all these Photoshop pictures and stuff of grown adult women. Of course you don't look like that, you're 9. There's a rise of trends where something that's definitely embarrassing to public and the people around you will get you lots of hype online, and then people are kind of trading that social conduct with the people around you. They're kind of trading that for fame, and it makes us just obsess over social media and forget real life and actual connections with people.
How do you feel kids' mental health is right now?
It's terrible. I think there's a lot of that, who am I and what is my purpose? And then there's a lot of stress that maybe parents put on us or our peers, or maybe it's just inside, interpersonal conflict is super strong because you just want to be the best. You want to be better than everybody else, and it's normal, but your entire life shouldn't be a competition. Going to Young Life Camp this year, the two girls that I shared a room with, because my mom was our Young Life leader that was in the room with us, and they thought I was gonna like tattle on them or like be bothered for like swearing and whatever. And I just feel like that kind of thought or first impression from somebody, that would make them seem like colder towards me and not trust me as well. But it kind of like took a little while of them just understanding really who I am, and that it's not like, guys, you shouldn't say that. Like, I just love hanging out with them because they're cool. I started wildlife in 6th grade. Like, as soon as I could, I knew I wanted to be involved, because that's like the place where I absorb the gospel the most. Some of the best memories are having club together, having so many people in the same room, and knowing you're all listening, and you know, like Jesus is working in all of us right now, and it's so hyped to get to have that happen. Young life leaders can be really important to kids because sometimes you don't have any religious mentor in your life, or sometimes you don't have a mentor in your life, period. And like, if your relationship with your parents isn't really there, it's great to have someone who's there for you and truly, truly loves you. And if it is there, you know, like, I don't want to tell my parents everything. So I get to hang out with my Young Life leaders, and I know they have like my best interest. Feeling like you're not good enough to mentor or to be a leader, it's definitely a lie. Because I know like Nazarene's youth pastor, Paige, she's super open about her struggles in life. Also, I think it's really important to have a leader who's had those hardships or those struggles, because kids are gonna relate to you. And while you might not want that, the kids definitely want that, and it's really important to have someone who kind of, you know, knows what you're going through. Late Start Breakfast is for anyone who's willing to come, but it's a lot of the time is student leaders and leaders. And on our Cascade Late Starts, which is like the first 2 Wednesdays of the month, school starts 2 hours later. So we like to meet at Starbucks, and then we read like a little part of scripture, and we get to talk about it together. Young Life in Kashmir would be crazy. It'd be so cool. I know quite a few kids from Kashmir, and when I do go to church, I go to Christ Center. Investing in Young Life is so important, and I kind of feel like just getting to be here for kids, it's important, and we want to carry on Christianity. If I had to shout out anyone, probably you, TJ, and probably Shayla, just because I get to spend a lot of time with her. I'm best friends with her son, so like we're actually besties. Shout out Blake. Just all of my leaders, I know they're there for me.